Hi, this is Luana Luconi Winner, and before we get started on this painting, I'm going to use a little gloves in a bottle to protect my hands from the oil and products that we'll be using here in the studio. Just need a little pea-sized bit, rub it well in, and so let's go. Hi, I'm Luana Luconi Winner, and this is a free art lesson. I'm a portrait painter based out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and I teach workshops all over the country. Go to my website and see some of the things that I'm doing. Right now, we're going to talk a little bit about values. The most important thing that you can do for yourself is to study how light falls on objects and how shadows explain the shape of the object. There's a simple lesson that I usually show in my workshops. It's like this. Let's take an arrow and designate this as our light source. From this point, we're going to look at a ball. So let me put down just a quick circle. You know, Raphael was the only one that they say could ever do a freehand perfect circle. This light is touching the ball. That means that we're going to have one area that is the highest highlight in direct alignment with that light source. Now, there are 5 parts to this light shadow play: a highlight, a local color, a shadow, a cast shadow, and then a reflected light. Every object you paint is going to have all 5 of those things available. You have to look for them. You have to study things closely to find them. But say, for instance, that this is a red ball. So the local color on this ball is going to be red. The local color will fit somewhere about like this on this shape. Why? Because as the ball rolls away from the light, the shadow envelops this color. So we then have the shadow side of the ball. All right? Now, this ball is sitting on something. It's not floating in space. So let's say that it's sitting on a table. This is the cast shadow. That means that this object is interrupting the source of light, and the cast shadow is the shape from which we see the ball's true shape. Now, one thing about a cast shadow is that closer to the object is always going to be slightly denser and darker than as the light travels out here to the edge of this form. The last thing, remember I said there were 5 parts. The last thing is a reflected light. So let's take a little bit of this table color and bounce it back into the ball. Now, what we end up having is the light source, the highlight, this local color, the shadow, the cast shadow, and the reflected light. Look for these. Look for every one of them, no matter whether you're painting a person, a mountain, a boat in the water, or a glass on a table. It'll be there. Thanks for joining me. See you next time with a free art lesson.